Have you ever stared at a mountain of problems and felt completely stuck on where to begin? Maybe you're running a business, managing a project, or just trying to fix daily annoyances. Imagine transforming chaos into clarity with just one powerful tool. Welcome to the world of Pareto charts, the problem-solving secret that top companies like Toyota, Apple, and Amazon use to achieve remarkable results with minimal effort. In this video, you'll learn how to identify which 20% of issues cause 80% of your problems, the step-by-step process to create your own Pareto chart, and how to apply this technique to any business or personal challenge. The Pareto chart is a special kind of graph. It looks like a bar chart and a line graph mixed together. As for how it works, well, it follows something called the Pareto Principle, or the 80-20 rule. The Pareto Principle, discovered by economist Vilfredo Pareto in 1896, observed that 80% of Italy's wealth belonged to just 20% of the population. This mathematical pattern appears everywhere. 80% of software crashes come from 20% of the bugs. 80% of sales typically come from 20% of customers. According to this rule, 80% of the problems usually come from just 20% of the causes. The brilliance of this principle isn't just recognizing the imbalance, it's leveraging it to create maximum impact with minimum effort. And that's because the Pareto chart combines vertical bars representing individual problem frequencies, left axis, line graph showing cumulative percentage, right axis, and clear 80% line highlighting the critical few issues. But how do you go about using this graph to solve your problem? Well, here are the steps. Don't worry, I'll go over each step using the Zero-Defect Pizza example. So, the first thing you need to do is collect data. It's pretty straightforward. In our case, the manager at Zero-Defect Pizza notices that the customers are unhappy. And so he has the staff write down every customer complaint for a whole month. They record things like, "My pizza took too long to arrive," "I got the wrong order," and "My pizza was burnt." After collecting all the complaints, they count how often each problem happens. This way, they'll end up with a data set that is going to look like this. Issue: frequency of occurrence, incorrect orders, 40. Late delivery, 30. Burnt or undercooked pizza, 25. Poor packaging, 15. Missing ingredients, 10. Once you have your data, the next step is to organize it. The manager is going to group the problems into categories and order them from most common to least common. The idea is to focus on the biggest issues first. Now, by looking at the rearranged table, anyone can easily tell that the biggest problems at the pizzeria are incorrect orders, late deliveries, and burnt pizzas. With that out of the way, it's time for the third step, calculating the cumulative frequencies in order to identify the so-called critical few. Once you do that for all the categories, you can move on to your fourth step, creating the Pareto chart. And no, you don't need to take AP Maths for this. Each problem is represented by a bar on the graph. The taller the bar, the more often that problem happens. Then, a line graph is drawn over the bars to show the cumulative percentage of problems. This is what you should end up with. One look at the graph and you can easily tell that the top 3 issues, also known as the critical few, make up almost 80% of all complaints. That means if the pizzeria fixes just those 3 problems, they'll solve most of the customer issues. And this way you have a structured breakdown of what you should be tackling. Obviously, the next step is tackling these problems one by one. The manager can take steps like double-checking every order before sending it out, better time management, and fixing the oven temperature. After 60 days, he observes that total complaints dropped by 70%, while customer satisfaction scores increased by 35%. All without hiring additional staff or significant capital investment. This way, using the Pareto chart, you can make the biggest improvements without wasting time or resources on tiny issues. And that's this method's biggest strength. It saves time and effort, it's based on real data, and it improves overall performance. But there are a few limitations to using the Pareto chart. As beneficial as it is to simplify things, the Pareto chart might do too good of a job at it. The downside? Issues that are minor but equally important are brushed under the rug. Some rare problems can have catastrophic consequences. Also, as you solve top issues, new patterns emerge. Finally, the Pareto chart represents a data set at one point in time. For more accurate and updated results, you would need to update the chart regularly. Just keep these limitations in mind while you're using the Pareto chart, and you'll be good to go. The Pareto chart isn't just a graph. It's a mindset shift from fixing everything to fixing what matters most. So you don't have to solve every issue to make dramatic improvements. Start with the vital few and watch your results multiply. Would you consider this chart And for what purpose will you use it? Let us know in the comment section below.